Hello and welcome to my channel on AI automation. In today's video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process using Claude Code how you can migrate your existing WordPress website from a paid hosting provider to Oracle Cloud's free tier so that you can start saving almost $350 plus every year. Well, I've been running my personal travel blog on DigitalOcean for almost 10 plus years now, and I've been paying almost $30 to $35 on the basic plan that I have from them. And plus, on top of it, I have a backup service that also gets charged. So almost I'm paying $400 every year for the past almost 10 plus years. But if you are following my channel, you can see that I have been migrating all my workloads from these paid service hosted providers to the free Oracle Cloud VM that we have got. Oracle Cloud offers you a free VM with almost 24 GB RAM, and you can have up to 4 ARM CPUs. That's almost like 24 times the capacity of any public cloud free tier options. If you look at these specs that are there for the Oracle free tier, you can see that there are 4 ARM CPU cores which are available, 24 GB of RAM, 200 GB of storage that you can get, and 10 terabyte of data transfer per month, all completely free. Of course, if you go beyond the usage of these specs, then you have to pay. I'm going to migrate a website that is hosted on a DigitalOcean server right over here in front of you with a system that I have created called WordPress Autopilot. I created an NA10 Autopilot as well that I shared with you in the past few lessons. One thing to note about these specs, that these specs can be applied directly into a single VM, or you can spread across different VMs so that you can get in total of this much capacity. So what this means is you can also have one VM that has all the 200 GB allocated to it. Then you won't be able to spin up more VMs even if you have other specs available to you. For that, you will have to end up paying. Storage is not that much, but I wanted to get your understanding of how these specs work for Oracle free tier so that you do not have any kind of confusion. Now let's get to the screen and start using our WordPress self-host autopilot that makes the entire migration very conversational in nature with Claude Code, so that you do not need to have any kind of DevOps knowledge, Linux knowledge, or any kind of server maintenance knowledge. That's what we are going to use in order to guide us through the rest of the migration. My WordPress website is hosted on a DigitalOcean server, and I have a free Oracle VM in Europe region. I have this WordPress self-host autopilot already installed, and you can see it is bunch of Claude Code commands and a claude.md file. Now let me show you the server details that I have. I'll open up this claude.md file over here. You can see that it has all the initialization details for our Claude Code to work upon, but you can have all these parameters in the configuration.environment file as well, or environment.config. And I have given the example file over here as well, so you can specify all these details in your environment file too. But I have kept it over here as well so that Claude Code immediately knows where to begin, how to begin. So this claude.md file contains all my server configuration, the IP addresses, the SSH keys, and the domain names. Claude Code uses this information to know where to run these commands. So now let's get to the migration part of it. And for that, we are going to fire up the Claude Code. And how do we do it? We have opened an integrated terminal in our Visual Studio Code. That is what I prefer to use. I've been using Visual Studio all my life. That's why I use Visual Studio Code more and more, and I use the integrated terminal to use Claude Code itself in it. So I'm going to fire up Claude by writing Claude. All right, Claude Code is started. By default, you can see plan mode is on, but we are going to skip this. So I'm going to press Shift Tab 2 times, and that's it. Now we are out of plan mode, and now let's just tell it what we want to do. What we want is migrate my WordPress website to Oracle VM. So let me press enter. And now you would see that it will start fetching the information that I was showing in claude.md file, and it will start kicking off the full migration wizard. So you can see that it has identified the intent that we had, and now it is saying that, hey, WordPress migration, DigitalOcean to Oracle Cloud Frankfurt. Let's get started. I'll work through this phase by phase. Phase 1 is verify the SSH access. So you can see now it is going to verify whether the SSH access is working for us or not. Everything is set up, the foundation is laid. So you can see it is telling us that both the servers are accessible. 42 GB free on target is enough for the migration that is going to happen. It has begun the first phase, which is installing the LEMP stack on the target. Currently the target VM is empty, it is basic VM. Now it is installing the LEMP stack on the target, which is required to host our WordPress site on the new Oracle VM. Just one thing you should know it, this is demo. While I do it live migration of my WordPress from DigitalOcean to Oracle Cloud free tier, I do not care about if my WordPress site goes down for a bit, right? Because I'm showing you a demo. But if I'm doing it offline, I'll be much more careful so that there is no downtime at all. The script or this whole WordPress self-host autopilot that I have created for you is going to take care of zero downtime thing. However, still migration is a migration. When you are migrating your website from one server to another server, anything can go wrong. Maybe the Oracle region can go down in that very moment. So there is always a possibility that some sort of downtime may happen in case you are not careful. So I just want to have this kind of disclaimer out there. I'll highly recommend that you prepare yourself with a backup plan as well, just in case things go wrong. So you can see that it is continuing to install everything. It is installing Nginx, MySQL, PHP 8.3 on the target, and simultaneously export the database from the source as well. So it is doing its job, it is running its magic. It is going to take some time. I'm going to jump on to as soon as it finishes this whole task of installing the LEMP stack on the target Oracle Cloud VM that we have provided it. So you can see that Nginx is installed, exported the database, which is 48 MB in compressed form. Now MySQL and PHP 8.3 in parallel are being installed. So you can see that everything is done and managed by Claude Code with the help of this system, the set of commands that I have created for you. There is no DevOps, there is no Linux knowledge that I have or I am applying over here. This Claude Code system is doing it for us. And imagine if I had to run this migration, I would have to either go through tons of articles, do a step-by-step migration. If you are not that tech savvy, then what is going to happen if you have to migrate? You may have to hire someone else in order to do such a job. And this is what is going to save you almost $350+ every year as well. All right, so you can see that for the transfer, it is saying it's a large file transfer. It's like almost 19 GB of file transfer that we are going to do. And what files are these? These are all the images and all that I have uploaded on my travel blog. Because it's a travel blog, it's very heavy. I have been running it since 2009. So you can imagine in 17 years, how much content, how much images would have got generated. So that's why it is saying that should I transfer directly between server, which is like source and the target, or we should first download on my local machine from the source, and then from the local machine we upload it to the target server. That's what it is asking. And what I would recommend is, as it is recommended, direct server to server. It has all the initialization part already done, so we just have to confirm it over here. It is just asking a plain simple conversational question. So you can select the second option if you want, but I'll go with the direct server to server, which is recommended. It is going to use something called rsync as a utility in order to transfer the files. So you can see that now direct transfer it is. I need to set up the SSH access from source and the target. So it is going to set up the SSH key for both the servers or between both the servers, so that the servers can communicate with each other. And we have provided it access to both the servers. That's why it is able to do it. So you can see that it has run into some sort of an issue, but it is trying to fix that as well. We are not in the middle of it. It is figuring it out on itself. So see, it is telling us that it is passphrase protected, and that is what it is. My server or source server is passphrase protected. So that's why it is now creating a temporary passwordless key. It is going to eliminate or clean up all those stuff at the end of it. So now the direct connection works. So now it is going to have the large data file transfer between the two servers using the rsync utility. So let me fast forward to the next step, which is migration of the WordPress. So the phase 4 has begun. It has started importing the database and starting configuring it. So that means now slowly and steadily our old website is being migrated over here. And one thing that you should be noticing over here is that if I open up my website, let me show you the website that I have. Let's go here. Let me open the browser for you. And let me say discoverwiththesis.com, right? So this is the blog that I have, the travel blog, and I have not changed anything in the DNS yet. I am not pointing it to the new server right now. Right now, this is coming from our DigitalOcean server, not from the Oracle server. As the system is working behind the scenes, we want the entire system to be migrated first. Everything, including these images that you see over here, that large 19 GB of transfer that has to happen. Once that is complete, then only I'm going to do a cut over, and then we are going to shut this particular DigitalOcean server down. Because otherwise, if I have migrated and changed the DNS setting as well, it would have started pointing to the new Oracle VM, which might not be ready. All these images might not have been migrated over there. So that's the thing that you should note, that before migrating your DNS to the new server, everything should be migrated successfully over there. Then we'll do the DNS cutover. So this will reduce the downtime. And as you can see, that script is working in that order only. And the caution that I gave at the start of the video is purely a precautionary one. This whole system, WordPress self-host autopilot, is going to guide you each and every step throughout this process, but it is code. There could be things that can go wrong. That's why I was saying that you should do this kind of maintenance in some off peak hours, that in case something goes wrong, you have time to recover with the backups and all, and you can always roll back the DNS cutover to your old server, because you're not going to delete that VM as soon as this migration happens. You need to keep it over for a few days so that everything is working fine, and then take the step. But coming over here, our script is making good progress. It is now configuring the Nginx, and Nginx, you can see it is now saying that configured, and it is going to fix the permission issues that it is facing and update the database URLs to match whatever is needed. So you can see it ran into a permission denied error as well, and it is going to fix it on its own. It is doing what it knows. We don't know this stuff. If I had run into these issues, I would be doing Stack Overflow or asking Claude or asking ChatGPT in order to find out what is the next immediate step that I have to follow if I get stuck. So that's more a manual approach of doing things. Now it's AI is there for you to leverage, especially Claude Code, that can access your system and do the job on behalf of you. So that's where the whole series of last 3 or 4 videos that I have been sharing with you is all about migrating, where I was paying extra, right? So it is optimizing the cost that I was spending. All right, you can see that I asked it to run the task in the background of rsync, because now it is uploading the images, which is the most heavy part of this whole migration. So I did not want to wait much more, and I asked it so that it can run the whole rsync task in the background and move ahead with the rest of the migration. So you can see it has started migrating the other parts, and now you can see that WordPress is running and responding. It's directing to HTTPS, which is the expected behavior. So now it has stopped the migration because it wants us to switch the DNS. So now we are going to switch the DNS. So that's what I'm going to say, switch DNS now. And I'm going to go ahead and update my DNS record. So I'm hosting my website or DNS record on GoDaddy. So over here, you can see that these are the @A records over here. So this is what we are going to update with the new IP that we have. So you can see over here, it is telling us the old value is this, the new value should be this. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to say value is this, and then I'm going to click on save. So now it is updating my DNS record for @, and I'm going to leave all of these as is. I have migrated the main site, and you can see I have not migrated the second one, which says that www.discoverwithdheeraj.com, old value, new value. Because if you look at the www record over here, you can see that here I have already redirected to the domain instead of the IP. So I don't need to do that thing again. So let's go back. Now you can see here it is also telling you where your DNS is managed, and it is going to give you a step-by-step instruction if you are using Cloudflare, if you are using GoDaddy. If you don't know how to get to this screen that I was there, then you can use the instruction over here. But I already knew about GoDaddy. I have updated these settings in the past as well. So I directly went to that page of my DNS record editor and updated the data over there. So I'll just select this. I'll update it now. I know how to do it, and tell me when the check has propagated. So I just selected this. Now it is going to go and check whether the server has been migrated or not. So now it is asking us to confirm when it is done. I have already made the changes. So I'll just say yes, it has been done. Please check the DNS migration or propagation. Meanwhile, as we are doing, as we are interacting with it, you can see it is already doing the work. It is running this rsync job, which is in progress, which is running in background. It also installed the Certbot utility that is going to install the SSL certificates for us. So now you can see Certbot is installed. Let me check the rsync progress on the target side as well. So it is now going to check it. Now it says that 16 GB of 18 GB of upload is transferred. So almost done. We are almost there. And now it is going to verify the DNS propagation. If the DNS is propagated as it has, you can see that propagation is completed. Now it is going to install the SSL certificate on the new server. So SSL is also live. Let me test the site now. So now it is going to test it and tell us the homepage loads with 200. Okay, but WP admin is returning 500. Let me check the log. So that's what I was saying, that now we have migrated the site. And if I go back on our Chrome browser and if I try to load it, it's going to error out. But for you, the other site is already there as it is going to. So I think it has already fixed it. All right, so it deactivated one of the plugin that was creating the issue and it has already fixed it. So you can see that by the time I was trying to demo you that the site has broken for a minute or so, as it is going to recover from it, it already fixed it. All right, you can see that my whole travel blog that was existing and paying $400 almost every year to DigitalOcean is now live on a free Oracle Cloud tier, and the site would be much more performant because the machine that is there, the VM that we have on Oracle Cloud, is much more higher in configuration that I used to have on DigitalOcean shared server. So let's go back and let's refresh this and see whether the website is loading or not. If the website is loading, everything is working fine. I'm going to go through some of the links. So let me go ahead and click this one, for example. All right, perfect. It's loading perfectly. Let me open a link inside it as well. All right, so this is also loading and this does not have right now any kind of caching installed. So as I'm opening up these pages, the caching will get activated and this whole website will become more and more faster. So now let me open this. This was an external link. Let's go back and let's open some other links as well. Let's open this one. All right. So if you are traveling to anywhere in Indian Himalayas, Indian Trans Himalayas, this is the site to go. A lot of up-to-date content on traveling in the Himalayas is already there. So the migration is complete. The WordPress site is now running on Oracle Cloud Frankfurt region free tier. And these are some of the details that are there. So since the migration has been completed, let me show you how you can further manage this site, as it is saying that there are few remaining tasks as well. Clean up the migration SSH from the target server, configure the Devil on Wheels redirect. When you are ready, test the contact forms, email delivery, monitor 1 to 2 weeks, then decommission the DigitalOcean server. That's what I was telling you, that I'm going to decommission this server by the end of this February month, so that I have 2 weeks of time. In case anything goes wrong, I can still switch back my DNS to the old server. So it's just a DNS switch that has to happen. Both the sites are working on both the servers right now. And meanwhile, rsync is also completed. So the whole migration has been completed. Now let me show you some commands that you can continuously use using this WordPress self-host Autopilot. One of the best commands that I often will use is the WP optimize. I can just say -WP -optimize. So you can see that if I write this, there are so many commands that I have already configured for you. The secure one, restart, backup, optimize, logs, and status. Let's quickly look at one by one what these two do. First of all, let's optimize the server. That's the most important one. So let me click this. And now it's waiting for the task which is there above it to finish. And then only it is going to get picked up as soon as the above task gets completed. Okay, so it has accepted the command. Let's see what it does. So now the other task is running in parallel. I think it is going to run for a few minutes because it is applying the permission on the entire website. And like I said, 17 years of running a travel blog, lots and lots and lots of images that are there. So you can see permission fix is still running on 19 GB of files. I'll proceed with the optimization in parallel. They don't conflict with each other. So it is going to read what it is required to do in order to optimize our server. And now you can see it is saying that I'm going to have the PHP-FPM setup, Redis, and MySQL all independent running in parallel. So all these tasks it is going to run in parallel in order to optimize. So all three are done. Now you can see that the enable FastCGI cache in Nginx and clean up the WordPress database. So that's what the other two tasks for optimization of our newly migrated WordPress instance is getting. So now it is going to check whether the hit happens on the FastCGI cache or not. So you can see the FastCGI cache has a hit. So that means the caching or the optimization part that we implemented is working now. So our WordPress website is fully optimized. Next thing that we are going to do is security part of it. And for that as well, we have a command. As you can see, there are so many commands over here. So we have a wp-secure command. That's the one that I'm going to run next. So I'm going to say wp-secure. Right? So object cache is enabled. Let me run a final verification and then address the security hardening. So it is going to just analyze the server and then it is going to tell us what exactly needs to done in the hardening of the security of our. So still it is doing the OP cache enablement, which is more part of the optimization cycle. Still it has not reached the security part of it. But as you can see, everything is being done in a conversational manner. We are not running all these commands. We are not searching how to do this. We are not going through those boring technical tutorials, copying one command by one command into our server and then probably goofing up something and then getting frustrated for the rest of the weekend. So it is just an hour or two job that you can do. It's more like an hour, I would say. That's what it has taken me as I'm demonstrating it to you, along with that 19 GB of data that is being migrated. So now it is telling us that the whole optimization has been completed and all these things are working and what all we have implemented. So that's one thing. The next thing is now WP secure. So now it is going to harden the security of our server and implement everything that has to happen in order to secure it. Again, it is not going to replace each and every best practice that is there, but the ones that it already knows, it understands about the security of a Linux server and a WordPress site, it is going to implement it for you. So that's the disclaimer. It is not going to foolproof the entire server from security hacks or anything, but still it is going to harden the security. At least if I had to do it manually, I would have done a much worse job than what it is going to do. Alright, so you can see that the entire security hardening has been completed and all these steps have been performed in terms of security measures. So now the optimization is complete, security is complete. That means our website is production ready and I can easily cut over or decommission my DigitalOcean server. But like I said, I'm going to continue using it or keeping it over there as dormant state in next couple of weeks. And then by the end of the month, I'm going to decide to shut it down. So if we scroll down, this is the summary of the entire migration that has been done. Everything is now complete. You can see that. Is there anything else you would need to do with WordPress installation? Well, you have so many of these commands which are available to you. For example, WordPress logs, WordPress backup. I'm not going to run the backup because you can see that it has 19 GB of data, but I will recommend that you update this command, ask Claude Code to update this so that a backup copy is not only maintained on the server itself, rather somewhere else as well. For example, you can connect something like Amazon S3, right? So that your backup can be put over there as an archive outside your Oracle server. So something like that can also be configured with the help of Claude Code, and you can improve this overall WordPress self-host autopilot as per your workflow, as per your system or process. And then there is like a WP monitor, there is WP status, and finally there is this WP upgrade as well that will help you upgrade the WordPress by just one command without logging into your instance. So that's the power of this entire WordPress self-host autopilot, managing your WordPress instance in cloud or self-hosted instance anywhere using Claude Code, that you are just conversing it in plain English without knowing DevOps stuff, without knowing Linux stuff. And this whole setup works with any kind of VM that you will offer it. Right now it is working for Oracle because I demoed it to you, but it is not restricted to just Oracle. You can use it for AWS, you can use it for Azure or GCP or any other. You can even extend it for DigitalOcean and other cloud service providers as well. So now I'm going to start saving almost $400 a year. That is more 4 months of Claude Code Max plan for me that I can use to build other stuff, build other products, build such systems for you as well as myself. So I hope you find this video and the whole concept useful. If you think that somebody else will also find it useful, do share it with them. If you found it helpful, then do like this video, share my channel with others so that others can also get benefit. I'll see you in the next lesson next week.